Awaiting orders. Grenades on target.
Infested Planet is an indie strategy game with an alien threat that makes a Zerg swarm look like a herd of fluffy kittens.
Now, yes, you could generalize and say this is a strategy game, but it's actually a blend of a whole lot of different ideas. It's got some MOBA elements like maps with lanes and constant creepers spawning in, with a bit of tower defense in there too, and yet it's all single player where just a handful of units go up against countless swarms.
Yeah, so what are we going to call this, Hex? Because a MOBA stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, and this is a single player offline battle arena tower defense strategy game, so I guess we would call this a spobatism.
Oh, that makes sense. In this Spobatisk, you're dropped into maps with just a handful of soldiers against hives that pour out aliens at a frightening rate. It's your job to push up through the hordes and destroy these alien spawning monstrosities.
There's a bit of story told through text boxes, but we've basically told it all already. You're on a planet and there are aliens that need killing, and it doesn't get much more complicated than that. But I always like it when there's some sort of narrative to tie the missions together.
Yeah, and I love how tightly focused the gameplay was. You generally keep your Marines in one tight group so your attention is always on the front lines.
There's a little bit of base building to worry about too, with some buildings giving you access to game-changing perks. For example, one gives all your men grenades, which turns basic infantry into quite powerful soldiers, while another lets you call in helicopter strikes. And if you don't build turrets to defend bases, then you can pretty much guarantee an alien swarm will come along and recapture it.
Resource gathering is also kept pretty simple, with battle points being the only resource you need to worry about. They're mostly earned through destroying hives and setting up bases, or by collecting stashes found around the map. They are quite limited though, so you need to carefully decide how you want to spend them.
Yeah, I like that you constantly have to choose. Do I bring in more infantry? Do I promote the infantry I already have? Do you build defenses or some buildings? So you're pressed into making tough calls, and I love it when a game gives you that kind of pressure, Hex. Classic Spobatism.
Yes. I also like that you can get back any points that you've spent. Buildings can be recycled, and likewise troops can be demoted or sent away for a 100% refund. So if one tactic isn't working, you can fall back and try something completely different. And that means you're never afraid to experiment or just try new things.
Yeah, and you often have to reevaluate your plans. Battles can often become a fight between an immovable object and an unstoppable force. As you start pushing into one part of the map, the aliens manage to overwhelm your defenses somewhere else. And it is exciting racing around trying to stop them from getting a foothold behind your front lines.
Yeah, and those aliens really keep you on your toes too, with mutations that can completely change a battle. One might just bring in new types of aliens, or let them spread out huge minefields all over the map, or even just cause them to go on a massive counter-attack. Yeah, as soon as you start to feel like you've got a handle on things, a few mutations kick in and it just all goes to hell.
Yeah, and some of the missions are really tough. But I liked how completing missions earns you cash that you can spend on unlocking new technology or soldier types. But more importantly, you can hire soldiers for a single mission. So if you find one mission is too hard, you can go and do a few side missions and earn some extra cash, and bring in a couple of extra soldiers to help you out. It just gives you a little lifeline to make sure you never get stuck.
It's quite a lengthy campaign with a lot to work through, but once you've done all that, there's a lot to come back to as well. There's a skirmish mode, which can put you into some randomly generated battles, or you can create your own custom battles and mess around with just about every slider. It is quite fun giving yourself a huge amount of battle points and then turning up the alien horde to maximum. Whoa, hectic.
I would have liked to see a multiplayer mode. I think there's heaps of potential for that, but this was pretty much made by a one-man studio, and balancing a multiplayer RTS is no easy task. Still, I think it's making great strides for the Spobatism genre, so I'm giving it 8 out of 10 rubber chickens.
It's 8 from me as well.